everybody, this is Gina Bear reporting to you for duty, and today I wanted to make a video on how to apply to teach in Korea from another country. I get a lot of questions about this on my Facebook page and on my YouTube, and I thought that I would make a video about it, letting you guys know how I made that transition over from Japan. Now, just a disclaimer before I get into this video, this is mostly for Americans that are living overseas, that are looking to make the jump from whatever country they're in into Korea. So I'm making this video to hopefully make this transition a bit easier for you guys. I just want to let you know that this is based off of my own experience from transitioning from Japan over to Korea, so not all of my advice may be relevant to your situation, but I think most of it should be. So if you filled out the application process already and they're like, yeah, hey, like we're gonna help you get a job here, then this is about the paperwork portion. So there are a few things you need when applying to teach in Korea. And the important documents are your TOEFL certificate, your application form, your apostilled FBI criminal record check, which I will now just refer to as FBI CRC, your apostilled diploma, 2 transcripts, and 2 letters of recommendation. You need 6 passport photos, a copy of your passport page. So let's start with the FBI check because that one seems to be the most scary. You need to apply for this FBI CRC, and it takes about 14 to 18 weeks to process your application. If you have the luxury of time like I did, I started my paperwork in January and I got them in March and April. So I'm going to tell you how I did that. The first thing you need to do is to go on the official website and download the form for your fingerprints, and it doesn't matter if it's on paper. All that matters is that your fingerprints need to be neat and clean and precise. The next thing you need to do is you need to go to your local police box. I went to the police box in Naha because they were the ones that did fingerprinting. You go to the police box and you have them take your fingerprints. Now the thing is, in my experience in Japan, the police officer who does your fingerprints cannot sign the form. And just to let you know, that is completely okay. They don't have to sign the form, so you're not like freaking out like, oh my gosh, like my form isn't signed. The procedure is different from overseas. As soon as you get your fingerprints done, make sure that you have an appointment with your local embassy, and you need to go and make a notary of your fingerprints. So basically what you need to say on this notary once you get to the embassy is, I certify these are my fingerprints, they are real, mine, and authentic. So pretty much the FBI and the embassy need to know that you did not forge your fingerprints, nobody else did their fingerprints for you, you didn't tamper with them or anything. After you're done with all of that, you need to attach a cover letter to all of those documentation stating that you need these fingerprints to teach in Korea, and then you go and mail that stuff off. Just a note on the FBI CRC, the FBI does not mail to overseas addresses. So you need to send your FBI CRC to somebody in America, whether that be a family member or a close friend you trust, somebody that will eventually get your CRC over to you in whatever country you are. So for example, I sent mine to my parents' house in the United States, and then they sent it over to me in Japan. I cannot stress like how early you have to start. This FBI CRC, it takes a while. So if you're gonna do it the way that I did it, I suggest like starting at least like 6 to 8 months before you leave, so that you're not like stressing over the paperwork and stressing over leaving your host country. I guess you guys are all gonna ask me like, well, what about the apostle, Gina? Well, here's what I did, and here is what you can do. You have to apostille your FBI CRC, and basically an apostille is legalizing a document and stating that the document is authentic and it was not forged and it really does belong to you and you earned it or whatever. Basically what you do after you get your CRC in your host country, you are then going to send it off to be apostilled. I used apostilla.com and they were really quick, they were fast, and I highly recommend them. Apostilles cost quite a bit of money, and it will cost you quite a bit of money to ship it back to your host country, but it's worth it because they stay in good communication with you and they make sure that they're with you every step of the way. Go to apostilla.com and fill out all of your information, fill out all of the paperwork, print it out and send it off to them, and after that you just gotta wait until they give it back to you, and if there's any problems they will contact you. The third thing you're gonna need are your recommendation letters, and I also started doing this around the same time that I started doing my FBI check. So I suggest that you guys do it too. So contact whatever parties you need to contact. For example, I contacted one of my old professors at my old university, and I also asked for a reference from one of my coworkers at my school in Japan. You can have either 2 academic references or 2 professional references, or one of each. It doesn't matter. Whatever your flavor is, you should get that. Again, my professor sent that to my home address in the United States, and then my parents shipped that over to me. In total, you should get about 4 recommendation letters. So basically 2 copies of each. One is for a scan and one is to send with your final paperwork. Also, it's really important that you get your diploma apostilled. So to apostle my diploma, what I did was I ordered an extra copy from my university, so that way I didn't touch the one that was in the actual diploma frame. And I had that again sent to my parents, and then my parents sent it over to me in Japan. So after I got that, what I did was I had to go to the embassy to notarize that. So I went to the embassy again. I said I certify this document is real and authentic, that this document is not fake or forged in any way. And then I sent that off again to Apostilla to apostle my diploma. Also, while I was doing this, I was working on my TEFL certificate. The TEFL certificate is really important, especially if you're applying to teach on GEPIK, EPIK, or SMOE. I used Global Training Academy, and if you go through Corvia's website, they give you a discount for doing it through their website. So instead of paying $400, you pay $300 for the TEFL. Another important piece of documentation that you need are your transcripts. I believe you need at least 2 copies of the transcript. Just do yourself a favor, and in case you change jobs in Korea or whatever, just get a whole bunch of copies. I ordered the maximum amount of transcript copies from my university. I ordered 10, and again sent those to my parents in the United States, and my parents sent those to me in Japan. So make sure that the person that you're relying on to help you with these documentations is a reliable person, is a reliable source, and that they will get you your documents, because a lot of these places do not send documents to you overseas. Allow yourself the maximum amount of time to be able to get all of your documentation done, so you're not stressing and doing this at the last minute. I'm so grateful that I did this when I did, because if I didn't, then my life would have been terrible. So I'm telling you right now, start as early as possible, like 6 to 8 months before you even make the transition to Korea. All of the links to everything that I've talked about will be in the description box. If you guys have any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube page down below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and give my Facebook page a like. For everything that's not going on the camera, please follow me on www.ginabearsblog.com. Gina Bear, signing out.